Let's try this again. There we go. Babe Ruth is a free agent. So once again, all I do is I click on him and I go to the editor and we scroll down and we put him in Major League Baseball and we put him on the Chicago White Sox. And just like that, let's see where they have him hitting. Probably third. Yes, they have Babe Ruth hitting third with the Chicago White Sox. And I'm just going to save that. And I'm going to go close that Google form. So if you're working on that Google form, you've got 15 seconds to kind of get that in before I close it off. Let me switch screens and go back to my main page. Last call to try and win 10 packs. 10-second countdown. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Entries are closed. Okay, 42 entries. Let's take a quick kind of peek at the range here. Where you guys think Babe is going to fit in here? We've got 39 home runs being the lowest. And again, that's our first tiebreaker question. So 39 all the way up to 70. 60 is his personal record. One person picked 60. RBIs, we've got from 103 all the way up to 170. Hits, 118 to 220. And runs from 69 all the way up to 173. So we're getting totals anywhere from 314 to 630. All right. There we go. All right, Babe Ruth in Chicago. Once again, just for those that may have entered for the very first time, I keep all the default settings except for a couple. One that I turn off is trading. I do not have trades in this series. I don't want Babe traded after the first week. Let's keep him on the team the whole year. And the second thing I change is injuries and suspensions. I set them to very low. So there is still a chance he can get injured, and I set suspensions to low. Everything else I keep the same. And again, this is the 1927 Babe Ruth. So as we always do, I always like to watch that first game. And this week, he is playing his first game in Houston. Babe in Houston up against the Astros. Let's see. Last week was pretty fun because last week he had a home run, a 2-run shot, I think, in the 9th inning to tie up the game against the Orioles. They lost, but it was a nice moment for Babe Ruth back in playing for Boston. So here's the 2023 lineup with Babe Ruth. Tim Anderson, Luis Robert. Babe is hitting third. Jimenez cleanup. Colas, 5th, Vaughn, 6th, Moncada, Elvis, and then Grandel hitting 9th with Lucas as the pitcher. That is his team in game number 1. Astros look pretty dominant as they always do. Let's check out Babe's premier game as a member of the Chicago White Sox. And we heard it. We've got the point. We've got the D King Point calling a home run in Houston. I don't know if Houston's a hitter's ballpark or a pitcher's ballpark. Probably pitchers, right? I would imagine. All right, let's play out Babe's first at bat here. Tim Anderson flies out to left field. That will be one away. Roberts at the plate. He strikes out. And here we have it coming up to the plate. Babe Ruth up against Garcia. 80 contact, 75 power, 80 eye. And here comes the pitch. 2-1 count. Babe smokes one into center field, but that should be handled easily. And he goes down to end the first inning. All right, let's skip ahead to the third. All right, we are in the third inning, and we have a lot of runs on the board. Chicago White Sox leading this game 3-2, and Roberts is the first guy up in the third inning. He goes down swinging, so that will bring up for the second at bat the Bambino. 1-1 count. He hits one deep to left field, and D. King does it. D. King with the call saying Babe is going to hit a home run today. And there it is. Second at bat. Way to go, D. King. I applaud you. Now the question is, D. King, will he hit another one? That's the question. Okay, well, we're going to skip ahead now to the fifth inning. I don't think this is a pitcher's park here. It is 8-6 for the Astros in the top of the fifth. But we're going to get to see Babe at bat again. First, though, Robert. He flies out to center field. Babe swaggering up to the plate. Here he comes. He's 1 for 2. What do you think? Strikeout? Ground out, fly out, home run, hit by pitch. What do we have coming for Babe Ruth? 1-2 count. And he swings again, just like in the first inning, a fly ball to the center fielder, and Babe is 1 for 3. It is an 8-6 game as we move ahead to the seventh inning. It is 9-8. 9-8, but Babe Ruth is back up at the plate in the seventh inning. One swing of the bat, he can tie it up. Are we going to have the point? D. King already called one home run. Do we have a tie game? 1-2 count. And the Babe goes down swinging. You got to expect that once in a while. All right, we're going to go to the eighth inning. It is 9-9. I don't think, well, we better play it out because Babe may get up. Little grounder to the pitcher. Runner beats it out. We have one on, a 9-9 game. Elvis at the plate. And he pops one out to right field, one away. The catcher now at the plate. Swings away, and the right fielder handles that. We have 2 away as we head to Moncada. No, Tim Anderson, top of the lineup. Oh, ball gets away from the catcher. That will move the runner to second base. Babe is in the hole, not quite on deck. That is going to fall. Runner will move to third and heads home for the go-ahead run. The Chicago White Sox are up 10-6. Benettini. AB is at bat. And he watches one on the corner. Babe does not make it up in this inning. It is 10-9 as we head to the ninth inning. Here's likely the last at bat for Babe Ruth today, unless we go extra innings. Babe at the plate facing Hector Neris. 1-0 count. Something's happening here. And his first ground out of the game. Second baseman handles that fairly easily. All right, let's go to the bottom of the ninth. 10-9 game. Let's see if Houston has anything left in the tank here to tie it up. And leadoff hitter, deep fly ball to right field on the warning track. That will be caught by Colas and Tucker at the plate. He strikes out, 2 down. Jeremy Pena at the plate. Needs to get on base. And ground ball to shortstop. That will do it. Babe Ruth in his first game as a Chicago White Sox. There's Babe, the second guy right there. There's Babe. Let's follow Babe. All right, they're shaking hands. He'll be the slowest guy off the field. Maybe he's the last guy. There goes Babe. And a 10-9 victory for the Chicago White Sox. So looking at the line score for Babe Ruth today, he would have 5 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 RBI, and of course 1 strikeout. But he does get his first home run. Jimenez is the player of the game. B-Nintendi. All right, we're going to sim to the end of April. We'll take a quick look at his stats. And then as we're simming ahead to the All-Star break, we're going to take a look at this day in baseball history. What were some of the cool things, events that took place on this day, May the 29th, in baseball history? Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Don't forget to check out tomorrow, my 100th episode stream. Guests, giveaways, and a lot more happening tomorrow at around 1:15 Eastern Standard Time. Okay, let's check out the April stats here. Where does Babe fit? Is he in contention for the home run lead? How is Chicago treating him? Right now, his Chicago White Sox are 500. 500, I say. They are 14-14, I believe. Yes, 3 games back of the Minnesota Twins. Babe Ruth stats. Is he injured? No, not injured. So right now he's got a 283 average, 26 strikeouts, 21 walks, 14 RBIs, and 7 home runs. So pretty good. Pretty good. He's on the pace for 39 home runs, which is not a matrix low. His lowest was Arizona with, I believe, 37. In terms of his batting log, he had 2 home runs against the Baltimore Orioles at home and 3 RBIs against Pittsburgh in a 10-3 win. So nothing outstanding for the Babe in April. We look at the overall statistics here. Babe is... yeah, he's way behind. Austin Riley with 11 home runs for the Atlanta Braves. Alonso, Trout, Betts, and Judge also on the leaderboard. And do we see any Babe Ruth pitchers? No. Nowhere in the top spot on the leaderboard. Yeah, I think 39 was the lowest. Let me just double check here. Lowest home run total guessed was 39. Yep. So that person may have the early lead here. All right, we're going to sim ahead to the All-Star break. Let's bring the game back up and sim ahead. At this rate, I don't think Babe's going to make the All-Star game. But April's always always been his slowest month in this series. He's always had a poor to average April. Once again, we are using the 1927 Babe Ruth, where he hit 60 home runs. He had 137 walks. That was, he had a lot of great seasons. But home run wise, that was his best. One more than his 1921 second season in New York. So that is the Babe we're using. But hey, let's take a look at baseball history. I like doing this. I like learning a little bit more about baseball history. On May 29th, 1886, did you know that the Athletics tried to slow down the Browns by loading the base paths with sand? Sand, I tell you. St. Louis captain Charlie Comiskey refused to play and even helped the grounds crew remove the sand. The Browns would win the two games 18-1 and 11-3 with 14 stolen bases. So it looks like the Browns were a very dominant team, especially over St. Louis or the Athletics. Oh yeah, the Browns were the dominant team. Athletics, not so much. 18-1. Every trick in the book, add a little bit more sand to the base paths to slow down your speedy runners. On this day, 118 years ago, Elmer Stricklet throws a mystery pitch, which is believed to be the first spitball. So in a day and age today where pitchers are being checked for sticky substances, this mystery pitch was believed to be first thrown by Elmer Stricklet. Now, I don't know the card list of the past. This name does not seem familiar for OOTP Perfect Team. Do any of you guys ever remember an Elmer Stricklet card? I'd be curious if there's one in the game and if he has a spitball as one of his pitches. Elmer Stricklet with the spitball. Next, on this day in 1962, Buck O'Neil became the first African American to become a coach in the major leagues. I'm guessing that was with Chicago, based on his uniform there. Cubs fan Steve might be able to verify that. Buck O'Neil, the first African American coach. Very cool. 38, 48, 50, 61 years ago. Next up, on this date in 1971, George Foster was shipped to the Cincinnati Reds for Frank Duffy and Vern Geisert. I would say the Reds did well with that trade. So George Foster from San Francisco, Ezra Denny's George Foster goes to Gorgos. George Foster in Cincinnati. Great, great trade. And yes, it was with the Cubs for Buck O'Neil. On this day, well, look at the synchronicity. I guess that's why the cards were released. 2 LE cards, 1 bronze, 1 silver, 1 for Joe, 1 for Phil. On this day in 1976, Joe Niekro takes his brother Phil deep for the only home run of his career. So you hit 1 home run your entire career, and if it's off your brother. I wonder if there was some brotherly favoritism there. Hey, Joe, here's my 32-mile-an-hour knuckleball. Very, very, very cool. I don't know if Foster is in the pool now. I don't know. There always is a George Foster. So yes, he was. He should have been the first black manager if he had been included in the Cubs College of Coaches. Yeah, unfortunately, it took that long to break that barrier, but good to see it happen in Chicago. On this day, in 1981, Montreal would trade outfielder Ellis Valentine. GT Sunrise. Montreal trades Ellis Valentine to the Mets for Jeff Reardon. Great deal for Montreal. Valentine would only play another 159 games, but Reardon would become one of the best relievers that the game would see for that era. So the Reds win the Foster trade, and Reardon going to the Expos on this day in 1981. And one more before we get back to Babe. Here's a Babe Ruth stat. Did you know that Babe Ruth's first major league home run came against the Yankees at the Polo Grounds? Exactly 3 years later, in the same ballpark, Ruth would hit another home run in his first start at a position other than pitcher. I did not know that. So 2 home runs, 2 historic home runs, one his first as a major leaguer against the Yankees, and the second his first as a non-pitcher in the lineup, both at the Polo Grounds. And of course, Babe Ruth was from Baltimore. That's where he was born. So they do have a Babe Ruth birthplace and museum where you can check out all the different Babe Ruth memorabilia. I don't know of anyone that's been there, so I can't verify whether it's, worth the price of admission, but it's the Babe. If you're in Baltimore, why wouldn't you go check that out? It's like being in Cooperstown and not going to the Hall of Fame. Definitely want to check this out in Baltimore. All right, let's get back to our game. We are at the All-Star break now, and let's check out our standings. The Chicago White Sox have fallen below 500. Babe is not helping the White Sox. I don't know if anyone could help the 2023 White Sox. He's trying, doing his best. Stats-wise, as of July 11th, Babe Ruth has 31 home runs. He has picked up the pace, folks. 31. Projected to hit 55 now, which would be a career high in the Matrix series. 65 RBIs. He has a .336 average. Look at this. 5.3 WAR, 101 hits at the All-Star break. He better be a starter. Before we check the All-Star rosters, let's check the updated statistics. Babe Ruth is tied for third in home runs at the All-Star break, with Alvarez, Mike Trout, and Aaron Judge above him. And now we're starting to see him on the leaderboard. On-base percentage, leading batting WAR, top of on-base plus slugging, and weighted OBA and OPS plus. He is at the top of the leaderboard. Babe making a move. Yeah, Ozzy, he is heating up. I still have Trout and Judge a little higher than him. So let's see. He absolutely must have made the All-Star game, but is he starting? I don't think we've seen him as a starter yet. I could be wrong. Maybe he did in Arizona. And for the AL, Ramirez, Guerrero, Judge, Alvarez, Trout. Babe is not a starter. Pretty tough when you have Trout and Judge and Alvarez. The game probably tends to favor those guys a bit. Let's check out if he is on the roster. He better be. He better. There he is. Babe Ruth is on the roster. Last week in Boston, he did not get a plate appearance. Did not get to play. I don't know which ballpark this is. It says guaranteed rate. Does anyone know if there's a ballpark called guaranteed rate? Sounds like a corporate kind of name. Sano on the leaderboard for San Francisco. Yeah, I didn't see that. That's the White Sox Stadium. Oh, okay. So Babe Ruth is at home for this All-Star game. Let's check out. Let's go to the 7th inning. And let's see if Babe has played yet. Yes, he had. Okay, Babe came in as a pinch hitter and struck out. And is now out of the game, it looks like. Yes, he's out of the game, so we don't need to watch any of that. So at least he played, but he struck out as a pinch hitter. All right, we're going to sim ahead to the end of July and take another quick peek at the standings. And then we're going to sim ahead to September. You can see the stats on the left-hand side. Babe is second in average now behind Yordan Alvarez. Alvarez just ripping it up. And he's still first in on-base plus slugging, still first in batter WAR. In the NL, Trey Turner is leading in average, and yeah, Sano, 32 home runs, which is way, way lower than the AL. AL, we have Judge at 45, and then Sano at 32. Stolen bases, Acuna with 38. And Cedric Mullins with 33 to lead the different conferences. Yeah. What do you think, Chess? Before I look at it, how many stolen bases do you think Babe Ruth has so far, and how many attempts? What do you think? Do you think he has at least one? 2? 2 and 2? You think he's going 2 for 2 with stolen bases? Well, he's on a streak. He's got the hot streak symbol. All right. His stats right now at the end of July. Babe Ruth hitting .336, 6.3 WAR, 40 home runs, 80 RBIs, 120 hits, and 85 runs. And Safari, he's got 6 stolen bases and been caught twice. This is a man on a mission in Chicago. He likes playing in Chicago. What's he projected to get? He's projected to hit 61 home runs now. Oh, it's going to be close. Will he get to that 60 home run mark? So the contest is favoring those of you that had a high number, probably going to be over 500, like last week. Fueled by the Chicago hot dogs. Is the Chicago White Sox, are they south side, north side? What part of Chicago are they in? South side? Aaron Judge leading with 51 home runs. Mike Trout at 44, and Babe Ruth is third on the list now with 42. 43. He's creeping up there. 44 for the Babe. 46. Oh, Babe is having a season. He's not going to catch Judge. He might catch Trout, though. And stay tuned. If you didn't enter the Babe in the Matrix contest, we are still going to do a draw for 10 standard packs for one of you lucky random winners. All right, September 1st, Babe Ruth is hitting 342. All right, let's take a look at his real stats. What was he hitting in 1927? 356. So he's slightly behind. And 46 home runs, so he's on the pace for 56, so he might not break his personal best. 99 RBIs, 151 hits, 105 runs. So right now, with 1 month to go, his total is 256, 302, 401. So he's about 401 right now. Obviously, that's going to go higher. Will he break 500? It'll be close. My guess he's going to be anywhere between 480 and 510. Chicago deep dish pizza, D. Dempsey. Oh, I wanted donuts before. Now I want pizza. There's the Babe leading in all these categories here. And yet he didn't start the All-Star game. Shame on you, OOTP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 categories that he leads. Third in home runs with 46 and second in average at 352. All right, let's go up to the middle of the month. Check out. Will he pass? He did pass Mike Trout. Babe Ruth has hit the 50 home run mark, guys. He is at 50. Aaron Judge at 60. He not only passed Mike Trout, he flew by him. 51. 51 home runs for the Babe, and his overall stats, he was projected to hit 56, and right now he is projected to hit 56. Still on pace, 9.1 WAR currently. He's broken the 50 home run mark. He's broken the 100 RBI mark, the 160 hit mark, and the 100 run mark. He is doing well. All right, let's go to the end of the month. Oh, he's 8 behind Judge. 8 now. He's at 54. 8 behind Judge still. Judge got another one there. Got about 10 days left in the season. Nope, not going to get 56. Come on, Babe. Hit that 60 mark. Come on. No, he's stuck at 56. All right, here we are. I think, I don't know if we're quite at the end of the season, but Babe Ruth has 56 home runs. He's played 158 games. And are we done? Let's look at the standings. Chicago with 1 game remaining. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Babe Ruth has taken the Chicago White Sox to the top of the division. They are 1 game up on the Cleveland Guardians. Both teams will make the playoffs. It's just a matter of who will be the wild card and who will be the division winner. Let's see who they play. San Diego. And the Guardians are going to play Detroit. Well, they make the playoffs regardless. So let's sim this day. And check out what has happened here. Let's look at the playoff structure. Oh, Chicago is a wild card team. The Tampa Bay Rays and Texas Rangers. So both Cleveland and Chicago are wild card. They were the lowest of the division winners. Let's take a look how they did. They won the division. So Babe Ruth, good for you. You took a unexpected White Sox team to the division championship. We've got Tampa Bay in the AL East, Chicago and Cleveland in the Central, and Texas and Houston. Wild card teams, Houston, Cleveland, Chicago. And in the NL, the Braves and Mets make the playoffs. The Cardinals, of course, they make it. And the Dodgers and Giants. All right, let me save this. We don't want to crash right now. We will look at Babe's final stats in just a minute. Someone have their calculator up and ready. And let me just put all the answers in a Google or a Excel sheet there, or Google sheet. All right, let's sim out the playoffs here. Let's see how they do, and then we'll take a look at Babe Ruth's final statistics and declare a winner. First round. Well, we'll go first round. Just in case Babe makes the finals. White Sox up against the Blue Jays. Oh, tough call here. Blue Jays take it 2-0, and Babe's hope at a World Series ring just like that is over. Division Series. Rays, Astros, Jays, Rangers, Cardinals, Dodgers, and Braves, Mets. Braves sweep the Mets, the Dodgers beat the Cardinals, the Jays over the Rangers, and in Game 5, the Rays take the Astros. I would love to see these as a Final Four this year. I would love to see it. Rays, Jays, Braves, Dodgers. Final Four. Braves up 2-0. Series is tied in the East. Jays take a 3-2 lead. Braves and the Jays. We have a rematch of, what is this, the 1992 or 93 World Series. I get the 2 years mixed up. We have a rematch. Braves and Jays. Remember, there were no trades in this game, so we have our original Jays roster. Guerrero, Varsho, Bichette. Bichette hit .308 on the season. Gaussman went 20-11. And the Braves, Strider 15-6, Max Fried 16-5, Kyle Wright 20-5. Braves went 102-60, and the Jays went 86-76. We definitely have an underdog here. Here we go. Let's go game by game here. First game, Manoah versus Strider. And we've got The Jays winning 5-3. Wow. Game 2. Manoah versus Freed. Braves come back. They win that 3-2. As we head to Toronto, we've got Wright with the victory. Yes. 8-4. Braves are up 2-1. We're in Toronto. We've got Morton versus Ryu. And the Braves are up 3-1. Game number 5. Strider versus Gaussman. Oh, the Jays hang on. It is now 3-2. Jays win that 7-4 as we head back to Atlanta. Game 6. Babe is just chilling back in Chicago, waiting to cross the city and play for the Cubs next week. Doesn't have to travel, he just stays in Chicago. Just has to change uniforms. Game 6, Manoah versus Freed. And it's done. The Atlanta Braves take out the Toronto Blue Jays 4-2. Well played, Blue Jays. You gave it your all. Didn't quite get there. And yes, it was a rematch of the 92. Touch them all, Joe. So this time the Braves are victorious. Stroker Ace just got the Necro number 8 out of 100 from the drop. Well, hey, at some point I might be trying to get a Necro to fit my theme team. So good. Number 8, one of the low numbers. Not that that means anything, but when you're a collector and you collect cards, typically you like the lower numbers. They usually be more valuable with real life collectibles. Yes, the Joe Carter walk-off, absolutely. Best Blue Jay moment in history by far. All right, the moment of truth. Babe Ruth. First of all, we're going to look at his history. Did he re-sign in Chicago? Not yet. Award-wise, he wins the Player of the Week, the Batter of the Month in May, selected to the All-Star Game, hit 3 home runs against Cleveland, hit his 400th career home run, another Player of the Week award, and was Batter of the Month in the AL in August and September. So he finished very, very strong with the Chicago White Sox. All right, calculators in hand. What do we got? We've got 125 runs. 56 home runs. 127 RBIs. And 189 hits. Let's do the math. I got 497. I'm going to trust the math teacher who also got 497. Yeah, I figured between 480 and 510, so that fits right. All right, while we're simming ahead to the awards, because I always like to see if Babe wins any awards. Let's go to... Maybe they did present the awards right now. Let's sim ahead a month. And then we'll go to the sheet and look at the winner. Devil Dog, is you mean averaging on the 5 teams or 4 teams he's played so far? So from Arizona all the way up to today, that's his average? Okay. Still below his 1927 pace, but heck of a season. Heck of a average. All right, so just simming ahead a little bit till we get to the award winners. Let's see. Right now, they're looking at Platinum Stick, Outstanding Rookie. Once we get the MVP awards, then we'll go and look who our winner is today. And the tiebreaker, again, if needed, will be 56. That's how many home runs that babe hit today. I'm thinking with the Cubs that we could see some high numbers next week in Chicago. If he doesn't get injured, I think we could see some good numbers. All right, let's take a look at our award winners, shall we? Reports and info, league history. Starting in the National League, your 4 winners are Trey Turner with the MVP. I think he's won it like 3 or 4 times now in this series. Blake Snell wins the Cy Young Award for San Diego. Jordan Walker is your Rookie of the Year, and David Robertson with the New York Mets wins the Reliever of the Year. And in the American League, the moment of truth, Babe Ruth, for the second week in a row, is the AL MVP. 345 average, 10.1 WAR, 56 home runs. Jacob deGrom wins the Cy Young Award for Texas. Gunnar Henderson, the Rookie of the Year in Baltimore. And Munoz, 7-7, 40 saves for the Seattle Mariners. So some Seattle love for Bluebird there as they win the Reliever of the Year award. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. That the number of games compared to 1927, 8-game difference. So that will affect his numbers. I don't know what percentage that is. I mean, less than 10%, like 5% more games. All right, here we go. Here is the moment of truth as we find out who wins today's contest. Here is our total category. Let's sort that. Highest to lowest. In 630 was the highest. We had 497. We have one at 500 and 492. This is not the Price is Right. I just said closest to. So let's add these 4, make sure it's 500. And that is 500. Let's check the 492. A little bit bigger. Go. And come on, mouse. That is 492, and we'll just check the one underneath at 491 and 505. All right, numbers check out. So guessing 500 as a total is Chess Safari. Chess, congratulations. You win the Babe in the Matrix Chicago White Sox edition, and 10 packs will be going your way. Again, if you want me just to send it to the last time you won a contest, I can send it to that one. If you want it sent to a different Perfect Team account, just whisper me or put it in the chat and I will have it there. I believe, let me just double check. Yes. Chess Safari, who picked 173 runs, 154 hits, 125 RBIs, and 48 home runs. Fan 3. So that's just it. It's Fan, FAN 3. Okay. Good. Well, to end off, before we do our main contest for the 10 packs here, guys, one more time, let's go through a few moments in history. A sad moment for you Philadelphia Phillies fans. If you remember this, if you're old enough to remember, it was a very emotional day on this day 34 years ago. 34 years ago. Wow. This seems like yesterday or last week. 34 years ago, Mike Schmidt announced his retirement. I don't know if any of you in chat remember that, but it was, it was a very emotional day for Mike Schmidt. Ricky Henderson, on this day 33 years ago, he would become the American League's all-time stolen base king. There he is, holding the base on this day 33 years ago. Again, how time flies. On this day 30 years ago, speaking of Jose Canseco, who 3 days earlier, had that ball bounce off his head. That's why we got the 40 limited edition card. On this day, 3 days later, he would pitch. He would volunteer to pitch for the Texas Rangers in the 15-1 blowout loss to the Red Sox. And unfortunately, he hurt his arm in the effort and had to undergo season-ending elbow surgery. The guy couldn't get a break. 3 days earlier, boom, home run off his head. Then he says, you know what, coach, I'll pitch. Sure, I'll be your mop-up guy. Elbow surgery. Jose. On this day, 23 years ago, Yankees Randy Velarde completes his 10th unassisted triple play in completes the 10th triple unassisted play in Major League history. So triple play by Randy 23 years ago. Runners were on first and second. Shane Spencer would hit a line drive to the second baseman, who would catch the ball, tag out Jorge Posada, and step on second, tripling up Tino Martinez. Caught ball, tag runner, step on the plate or base. Rare event. The 10th unassisted triple play. Do you remember who is credited with the first unassisted triple play? I'll be impressed if you guys remember, although it was a controversial triple play. Way back. I believe it was Paul Hines. I think Paul Hines was credited with the first triple play, was it Ross Barnes? I think it might have been Ross Barnes. One of the two, Ross Barnes or Paul Hines. Some guy named Art. Wildcat, did you beat me in the first game? Did you beat me? Did the Oklahoma team beat Steve's All-Stars? I'm just loading that up. So sorry for the delay there, guys. And a couple more to leave you off on here. On this day in 2010, 13 years ago, Roy Halladay, one of the best. Again, as we kind of go through Memorial Day today, remembering those that have fought, those that have died, those that have served, and those that have played the game and unfortunately are no longer with us. Roy Halladay, one of those. He pitched the 20th perfect game in Major League history on this day 13 years ago. Does anyone know who that perfect game was against? Because I don't. Who did he have a perfect game against? The Mets, maybe? Washington? And the last fact of the day, Babe Ruth would lead the American lead in home runs for the first time in 1918, tying the A's Tilly Walker with 11 in a war-shortened season. So 1918 was World War I. World War I was raging on, and the season was short, and only 11 home runs would lead the league, tying Tilly Walker. Not sure if Tilly Walker has a card in the game. Didn't know he was a big power guy. He also led the league in strikeouts with 58, with slugging 555, and OPS with 966. So just like OOTP, Babe Ruth was a slugging machine. So there you have it. That is Babe Ruth in the Matrix, part of episode number 99. Thank you guys so much for playing. We are going to do the last part of our giveaway, not that one there. This one right here. So don't enter yet. Got to get it all set up. Got to close last week's and set up this week. So just one winner, 10 packs. Chess Safari won the first 10 packs today. It is underway. Exclamation enter, exclamation tickets. Rob, deer in the headlights coming out of the gates. There is no headlight stopping that deer. Cobra, D-King, Bailey, Wildcats. Give you about 2 or 3 minutes to enter there, guys. And as you're doing that, a huge thank you for tuning in. Thank you as I got through some glitches today, got off to a late start, had a few computer issues, had some thunder and lightning in the area. Again, thank you to D King for resubscribing. Thank you to Bluebird for subscribing last week. Thanks to all the new followers today. Evil Dead 4075. We've got Baseball _Dreamland, Outlaw Coach, and MX Steely. Thank you for the follows today. It is a great day for baseball. Not here, it's raining. Thunder. Not unless you have an indoor stadium in rain. It's a great day for baseball. Again, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, help those out. Thank a veteran. Thank someone that has served, that is serving. Reach out, shake their hand, thank them. In Edmonton, we have a military base just east of Edmonton, and we always see, people around in their, military uniform, filling up their gas tank at the grocery store. Just every once in a while, thank them for serving our country. And again, condolences to anyone who has lost someone that has served for their country. And I will check in a bit to see if we need to raid anyone. Guys, that's it. We finished. We got through the storm. We got through the weather. We've got through the glitches. We did our Babe in Chicago WhiteSox series. Tomorrow, be here, 100th episode, celebrating 1,000 subscribers. First giveaways will be after the first 15 minutes or so. So get here early, get your popcorn, get your coffee, going to be a good old time with the lap and a few guests coming on. Thanks for watching. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to take you over to NASPACE. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next episode.